Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, late to the gate and racing out of lane 8. Your men, Dex, Boota and Issitt.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Oh yeah! It's cold, it's chaos, it's Christmas time. So grab your mince pies, clip in, and let's ride! Uncle Buck's here with his memory sack. And someone tell Boota to put the pipe back. Issitt took third, no training, still slick. Mad Addy's back, and his cadence is quick. Boota's cruising, back onto wheels. His DIY's cursed, but he's got that feel. Dex got a job, now meetings are tight. So we part in the dark or late at night. Still don't train, still full of chat. TRT sauce in the sock, in fact. Sugar daddy's spinning under the mistletoe. Crowd trucks posting, we still don't know. Chase truck tourists at Christmas mate. The Grinch was carbon confirmed debate. Tracks are frozen but the banter's hot. Still dreaming of podiums we never got. Tinsel on the bar, snow on the gate. We're clipped in crooked and 5 minutes late. Santa brought socks, but we wanted grips. Still pulling hamstrings and talking clear. Our bikes are old, our knees are shot. But we'd race through Christmas, ready or not. Beers in the van, mince pies in a box. Race kit tied like Christmas ox. Oh, slow and full of mince, but we still gate better than we rinse. Beers in a van, mince pies in a box. Race kit tied like Christmas socks. Oh, slow and full of mince. But we still gate better than we rinse.
Here we are, we're back. Christmas special. And what a theme tune.
Big.
What do you
There's
think
someone
of that?
emptying their sack, and I mean, we might as well have to draft him in now. But let
Someone
the
is
people
emptying
guess.
the sack. Hang on. What's that? What's that? What's that? I think it's Santa. Where is he? Come on, Santa. Come on. Oh, who he is? Come on.
Hey, that's special, isn't it?
Here
You're
he is.
in. I made it.
Thanks for coming,
We've got all the
Santa.
effects.
What's been going on?
He's
Has it
done
been
well,
busy?
isn't he? I mean,
Busy at the North Pole?
he's always busy, isn't he?
I've just made it.
It's busy. There's a lot going on. How are the elves?
So-so. Few of them a bit drunk, but they're all right.
Yeah.
They'll be up
Well,
at
that's
work
okay.
tomorrow. So, Merry Christmas,
Well,
everybody.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And we did a Merry Christmas theme tune, which was AI that did it. But
I
the
think
funny...
the album, we're 2 songs into the album now.
We are.
Three
And...
songs for the first one.
Wow. Yeah, the people haven't heard the third one yet, though, are they?
No,
there's
I've
a-
only
there's-
hardly heard the third one. Here's the interesting thing. Me and Boot were talking about this before we started recording. So I got the AI to do that Christmas track. And the way I do it is I get ChatGPT to do the lyrics and then I stick it into the... What's the thing called, Booter?
Makeda?
Yeah, something like that. So that does the music. But the weird thing is, I told it to do a few things, but I didn't tell it to do everything that it did. So ChatGPT has managed to work out of its own accord that Booter can't do DIY. It's managed to work out that I've got a job. So I don't know if it's trawling the transcripts or the show notes or something. It's amazing what it's doing.
Mental,
I mean,
innit?
that's not. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
It's probably a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's
I
probably
think
a
I
bad
added a
thing.
few Joris things in.
Yeah.
But yeah. The lyrics
Yeah.
in this intro are incredible. I think there's quite a poignant bit in there. There's a bit that says the tracks are frozen, but the banter's hot. Still dreaming of podiums we never got. And I
Well,
think
that's
I think
definitely true of me.
Pretty deep, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty deep. Is it had a few
Yeah.
podiums?
talk about yourself.
Yeah, he's had one or two. So, I think, when we last recorded, I think we missed out. We always miss out by a day on the big news. We missed out on the Joris news by a day. and all that's happened since we last spoke. And I know a few podcasts have done it in detail, but that's a pretty big moment.
It got messy, didn't it?
Seems like it has.
Have you seen this, Scott? I don't know. Are you still in the mix?
Kind of. I watched your podcast regarding Yoris, then I listened to Dale's. So yeah, I got the kind of picture, the backstory and current story. So yeah, it's one of those, I suppose, one of those things that it's a misunderstood. Obviously, Chris. I know what Christoph's like. He's a no nonsense businessman, and obviously, I guess he heard that all of a sudden his main man was moving to Australia and didn't quite gel up with him, did it? So yeah, and I think there's been a lack of communication, isn't there, at some point? But yeah, it's a shame, but.
It seems like everyone's calmed down a bit more now, though.
Yeah.
I mean, our last episode went pretty big as well. The amount of messages I've had about Cheddar. Don't forget about the Yoris bit. They're like, I need to talk to you about Cheddar.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got a few stories from there, haven't you, Scott?
Well, yeah, most of them are not really can't really talk about. But yeah, pretty much on the same lines as you lot, getting down there in plenty of time, getting absolutely wrecked and getting on the mic, making a fool of myself, But no, it was brilliant.
You inboxed me because we had the chat on the last episode about the big the Rob Injury Memorial. Yeah, which you was like, I'm going to go and find, didn't you?
Yeah. I found, but I didn't find. Ex-Pete Phillips, name's dad, and he was sort of like, someone took it, someone collected it or whatever. So we've got to do a bit of deeper diving into who's got it. So if there's anyone out there. Who knows? It could be stuck in someone's garden somewhere. But
the search is still on. Have a look while you're delivering your presents this weekend.
I've got my keys on his roof on the way home. He might know something.
See, it was huge though, wasn't it? So that would be like...
Yeah, it would be...
It's like half... Yeah, you'd have to put it in the back of a van with a forklift.
Yeah,
it's not going in the back of a van.
It probably would have gone on a low loader or a trailer. Yeah, it wouldn't have...
Yeah.
Because Pete took it back to his yard. I know that initially. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's still got it. Piff's got it. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, he probably has. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, what I'm really interested in, Santa, is what's in your sack. What's in your sack, Santa? And are you gonna splurge it all over us today?
Well, I'm going to do me best. So, if you've all been good, I'm going to make a start. Mosquito. I tried the top 10. But I sort of went at 11, so you just have to stick with me. I'll do it top of the pop star. I'll start at the bottom. In at number 11 this week has to be the no clips races.
Do you know what? We haven't spoken about no clips about this.
Yeah, I know.
That's all.
Well, I thought I'd drag it up. I mean,
this is prime.
It was just, at the time, racing was in a bit of a shitter at the time, in the UK. So it was really needed, and it just kind of, it all happened. Saturdays at Nationals, as we all know, was a bit of a waste of time. It was just practice and then all the dads getting drunk and the kids running amok.
See, I don't think that was a waste of time out of interest, though. Well, I think that was great times.
There was two trains of thought. The riders loved it because they got a free ride pretty much all day after practice. So, and then all night as well, if they could get away with it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and the no clips race was, a couple of hours max. So
it was wicked.
The format was brilliant. It was a great laugh. It was a breath of fresh air. We got loads of support for the industry, loads of prizes, and it was a great thing to be a part of. And so myself and Gunnar, and then we got support from Dirt and Ride and whatnot. So
UPG.
Whose idea was it, Scott?
Well, you know what? I can't actually remember. I think it was there was the clips thing was quite, and I think we were the anti-clips brigade, for want of a better word. We thought, and Gunnar and myself were always like, well, what can we do to really give BMX a lift, something a bit different, do something exciting? And this is kind of like what we came up with, and then it just kind of snowballed and it was great. And we selected it wasn't every national, it was only certain ones, because certain tracks were better for doing it. And that's how it all came about. And then I think we did it 2 seasons and it was a great laugh.
Wait, do you know what I liked about it the most? Because I was about 15, 16 at the time. Yeah. So I was young and it was like, I could go into the same races, your Bloomies, your Kelvins, and all that lot.
Same.
And
I could line up
was
with Dale.
like, sick. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And it was Chesterfield, the one that I always used to like, because you can't quite pull away from me on those. Like a kid against an elite on your Peterboroughs, they were gone. But like your Chesterfield, I felt like I was still in them, like thereabouts still, and I flipping loved it.
Yeah,
Mate, I must have it somewhere. I've got my plate somewhere down here. I wish you'd have said this before. Go on, keep talking.
Yeah, and from a personal,
it.
the first no clips race was at Ipswich, and there was a bit of bumping and boring. My Alex was in the final, Dale was in the final, and Mackey, I think. Yeah,
Which one? The fast one?
the fast one, Lawrence. Yeah,
I fucking knew I had it close by.
well done.
So that's 04.
Yeah,
Is
so
that 04? Is that what it says?
and it was great, and
Yeah.
you know they were coming. Alex managed to go in the lead, and then coming around the last corner. It's on the videos out there, and then Dow just starts reeling him in. You can see Alex is knackered, and as they come to the finish line, Dow just takes him on the line. There was people running over the track. It was madness, but it set the it sowed the seed for the next races. You know, so it's great fun.
So
That's a
I'm looking
strong
at
start,
this number plate, right? So we've got Fox. Oh no, that's me. That's a sticker. No, it has. Yeah, it's got Fox Racing, Ride, Dirt Magazine, Eastpak, GT, DC, Underground Products. That's pretty stacked.
Ronnie Bonner sent the plate. He did all those, which was, you know, he loved the idea. And then, you know, we had some serious prize money. You know, the dirt, and they all put, like, I can't even remember, like $1,000, couple of grand, whatever each. It was quite a big pot of money. And obviously we wanted to give that to the riders, which we did. You know, top three plus a lot of wedge. Yeah, it was great fun. It was great fun, and it couldn't be done again. I mean, you know, so it was of its time. So it was good fun. Good fun.
Clips are for kooks, weren't it? That was the argument.
Yeah. Why couldn't it be done again? What could you do a different flavour of it now, or is the sport just too different?
I think the sport's too different. I mean, I think we were just hanging on to it at that point. With getting people, it seemed a little bit rebellious. It was, you know, at the time the no clips thing we were still sort of pushing for it, but obviously we knew we were on a losing wicket. And but yeah, the sport's different now. And you know,
I don't think you could do it now, and the reason being is time, because you have no time at a national because you're finishing at 5-6 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You go home and get lunch, like dinner, and you've literally no time at all. Which is why I did used to like the old school vibe of you do your Saturday practice, you then had the no clips, or you went off and did something with your mates. Like this is why I liked coming down to Bournemouth, is you go to Splashdown everyone would go swimming on a Saturday afternoon. The water park.
Yeah.
And like, imagine nowadays, parents be like, "Yeah, you're going swimming, you'll be too tired for tomorrow."
Yeah, and it's been tried. They've tried to do little opens on a Friday, haven't they, and things like that, or a floodlit, where there's a floodlit track, you know, and it kind of worked. But all the parents of younger kids are rushing their kids back to the hotel or the caravan to feed them and put them to bed. Yeah, I don't know. Things have changed.
How considerate of them.
Yes, how go away and sport our fun.
All right, well, that's a
TV,
strong
isn't it?
start. If that's the beginning of the
Hell of a
charts,
start.
I don't know where we're going next.
Yeah, so coming at number 10, I was just saying, working backwards, the 2012 UCI Worlds in Birmingham. I mean, you know, what more can you say? Such a highlight for me on a personal level, being part of the commentary team. And it was like being involved in a rock concert. It was just, you know, sound was amazing, crowds were amazing. You know, it was great. You know, the venue was fantastic. And the weather was warm. Do you remember how warm it was in May?
Yeah.
We were all sitting
Down
out there.
by the canals.
It was my birthday week. It was wicked.
Yeah,
It was
on the
when we were all
beers.
sitting out on the canals having beers and food and stuff, and it was amazing. Obviously, we were up there. I was up there the whole week with most of the sort of all the volunteers, race team, etc. And we stayed in this hotel on the May Road in Birmingham, and it was great. We were going out, not going mad, you know, but it was just great. We could walk to the venue. The whole thing was brilliant. It was great. You know, the highlight obviously for me was Quillen winning.
Yeah.
That
The
was,
biggest bunny up I've ever seen over a finish line.
yeah. I mean, I know we had other winners, We did have quite a few winners, and it was great because everyone was there. All the old school riders were there, all meeting
Andy
up.
Revel won it,
Revel?
didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
Joyce
sponsor
came out of
BMX
retirement
hype.
as well.
Who
Your
else?
boy came out of retirement.
You know, your fast kid, the one that can ride a bike, that one.
The one, yeah. He did. You're right, because he had to do the nationals the year before. I remember that, for that specifically. And I mean, to be honest, I don't like go on about it, but he was racing so well at that event. I've seen him ride like that. I think it was just the passion of the World Championships and stuff like that. And it was just really unlucky that in the semi-final he dived in a bit low and he just slid out, and that was it.
Masters, that the previous year, because everyone came back, that Masters National Series was stacked of pure, all the classics came back. Like, even like Lawrence was racing Masters, I think, at that point as well. Yeah, Dylan. Yeah, it was rammed.
Yeah, I can remember commentating. You had like 3 ex-world number ones. You had Dylan, Hilly, Reedy, Flemdog. It was just, you know, it was a big class. Yeah.
It's not like the Masters of today, is it? It's just not the same, is it?
But I think, as you rightly said, that to qualify for the Worlds, it was a big incentive. So,
do you know what I have realised? In all this, like, 15 minutes of talking, we haven't even introduced who this guy is to people. Only old school people knows who this guy is.
I don't think he
thinking,
needs an introduction, but you're
right.
right.
Yeah, but our new listeners will be like, who's this guy dressed as Santa?
When's the last time you did a national Santa?
Just before he turned blind, I think.
I did gospel a couple of years ago and called Kai White, Trey White, and I thought, it's time to give it an end of day, you know. Call it.
I did it with the Hills.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
But,
hey, shout out to the Hills before we move on. Did you see that Kyle took a clanger on the road?
Oh, yeah, that was...
Clanger?
Yeah,
mate.
Yeah. Lucky.
Super lucky. I saw the dash cam footage of that yesterday.
He's a listener of the show. Do you know what I respect? Is he has this massive smash up, and let's be honest, that puts most people in hospital. He's back in Centre Parks a couple of hours later. He's got a uni reunion at Centre Parks or something. You gotta love the commitment.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, best wishes to you.
And just to really finish it off, like every good big event, Jeff Dovey organised the after party of all after parties.
Gate crasher.
At the club. Oh my God, that street was mental for all them clubs.
That went off.
And we had our own area. Wait, did you go, Sean?
Yeah, I was there. I was at the top. It was Gate crasher on Broad Street. We had the room at the top, didn't we? And then after a while, when everyone was loose, they let the BMX into the public world, and we all got in the mix with all the public. And
there was
the French were cleaning up.
The dancers were in cages, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And on Jeff Routledge, he didn't know where to look. He was blown away. Good night. Good night.
Oh, he knew where to look.
Yeah, we knew. So that covers that one. You want me to carry on?
Oh, yeah, keep going. I'm loving it.
Absolutely loving it. Yeah.
Hot pickers, the French indoor races. Well, you can lump them all together. Tours, Rennes, Saint Etienne, brilliant, absolutely brilliant events. And I think it was by going to those events early on that I thought, damn, we've got to start having decent PAs and music at National.
Yeah.
You know, I dragged, Phil Townsend screaming and kicking into that. And we got that sorted. He would come with his multiplayer and have now 19. We shoot rid of that.
And that's not even an exaggeration. That's the best thing about that.
Fact, yeah.
Speakers go.
Yeah, exactly. So we were like trying to mix CD, like terrible. Anyway, it was great. So those indoor races. I mean, we were taking Alex and Sam and a few other guys, Stobart, that is at quite a young age, and it was just immense, And then you're seeing all your top heroes there as well. Because the Yanks would come over, and it was such a great show. They put on a show.
Yeah,
traps were.
I think it was Rennes. Rennes was my first one indoor, and I remember going there, and I had a headache as a kid. I had a headache. It was because it was so loud in there, and my parents were just like, "Oh no, it's because of the dust and all that." It's not. I've got a banging headache because of how loud the place was. I made a final at Rennes actually, and it was a mad one. Yeah, it was a good event. That
which is the best one of them all. I've only done
the
Cannes.
best one.
Tours
was probably up there.
So tours, they give you 3 pieces of paper that they give you a slip for your practice laps, and you could only have 3 practice laps.
Yeah.
So you'd go around and you'd hand your practice lap on the way up. Lo and behold, Tezza doing his Tezza thing would rip little bits of paper, extra bits of paper, stuff it in my socks, so you'd have extra bit of papers, and then every fucker was doing it. We're all going extra laps. You get 5 or 6 before someone realises, hang on a minute.
Yeah,
that was like when you show up to a national and the wristband to be blue.
Yeah.
So someone would tell you that before you left. And we'd have like from CGR, we'd have like blue wristbands. Yeah, get some blue wristbands because that's camping's on a blue wristband.
Yeah,
I'm not going again in camping.
Story about that, like that. But I mean, yeah, because you had the Sun team were at their peak with Alco, you know, Dylan and Ali. It was just
the Blue Sun team.
Yeah, that's right. It was just incredible. Great racing, and you know, a lot of the French used to come as well. But it was great fun, and it was, and especially Saint Etienne. It was like pre-Christmas party, wasn't it? I mean, yeah.
Annoyingly, I never did a Saint Etienne.
Oh right. Well, just as well.
I was always working, so it just didn't feel right for me.
Yeah, I think my boys discovered drinking at St Etienne. They'd go down the bowling alley with all the boys, Dylan and Marco and Sam used to go, and they used to drink those giraffe beers. They were like about this big. Do you ever? You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Massive. I mean, so, and then obviously things got out of hand one night, and I think there was a bit of a tear up, and then they all came running home, and Ricky Gunner was hiding underneath a car with Dylan and Alex and Ryder being from Asia. It was just like, oh, it's just another weekend, you know, it don't matter to us. But no, we had a great time there. Great food, really good fun with English people and stuff like that. I mean, you know, I'm sure outside one French dad was really cheesed off with my Alex for some unknown reason. I don't know why. And he started to pursue us as we left the auditorium, and he wanted to come outside and start having a fight. He was picking on Alex. Whoa, hang on. If you want to have a go at us. Steve Stobart had the quickest fuse you could ever. So anyway, he was just about to grab his helmet, Sam's helmet, and smash this guy. And I managed to grab his hand and just stop. Whoa, let's just stop this. Let's crack on and go. You know, the heat of the moment. I get it. You know, but it was mad, and it wasn't the first time I'd had to pull Steve Stobart off of people. Anyway, drinks got to play a big part in that, I think.
He's a stocky youth, isn't he?
Yeah, but his dad was, he was brilliant. Up to number 8, talking about Stobarts and stuff. The Profile Europe Florida road trip we did, it was in the magazines. We went at Easter. I think it clashed with a Bideford Nationals. And it was snowing, I think. Bideford Nationals.
We're going to
go. Here we are, Florida like this, you know. It was absolutely the best thing ever. We had back-to-back NBL Nationals, Gator National.
What year was that, Scott?
That was 1998, and I've had to check all these out. So, 1998, it was the best of times. And we had Sam, my Alex and Ryan, Joey Goff, Claire Reese, and Dylan Clayton came with us. He said,
That's the setup.
And he came with us. And we all, you know, in a big 12-seater minibus, big Yankee one, you know, all the bikes in the back. And then we had the second weekend was Orlando, and like everyone was there. And we met up with Neil Wood and all those guys and Dale and stuff, and everyone was there. It was red hot again. And Levesque was on fire. He won both weekends, and he must have won over 20 grand.
Jeez.
Those two, it went big back then for those guys. But he was incredible. I mean, I can't remember how Dylan got on. I think he made a final one day, but not the other, you know, but one weekend.
He probably had more than his 300 quid he would have won at Bideford.
Exactly, yeah, and in the snow. So that was memorable. And, you know, my Alex, you know, riding his bike, jumping into the pool and, you know, well, he actually used Ryan's bike. He wouldn't use his own.
Yes, always thinking.
And we had Neil Phillips there taking pictures of everything and obviously documenting it for the magazine, I think. But
on the topic of Neil Phillips, he a couple of years ago, he created a Instagram, didn't he, and started putting some of his pictures out there.
Yeah, he did. And obviously you realise, wow, that guy, incredible pictures. And he was there at the moment. He was at every race because his mum and dad were officials, weren't they? So
yeah, I feel like he's got loads more and he hasn't put them on yet.
He's
got to have hundreds.
Oh, yeah, thousands. I mean, you know, it was a good, and he's gone on into his life to be a cameraman. He worked on a shopping.
Don't surprise me.
For a while, but he does independence, I think, and all sorts. So yeah, he knew his art. So yeah, good stuff. Okay,
so a trip like that in 1998, what was the budget for that?
That's a good question, Dex. I know that we booked it all through a company in Southampton because Steve had used them. I mean, it couldn't have been a lot of money. I mean, I think flights were probably like 300 quid, 400 quid.
Madness,
and
isn't it?
We didn't stay in good motels we stayed in. So, and you imagine there was, I think, me and Ryan and someone else in one room, and Alex was in with Dylan. So they all piled in. They weren't uncomfortable. Food's dirt cheap. I mean, I don't know. I imagine probably.
You know what though? Those kind of trips, you'd stay with anyone and anywhere.
Yeah.
The party and the riding and the camaraderie would have been sick, regardless.
That's right. I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's a good question. I'd have to look back on it, but it was worth every penny, whatever it was. And I know it wasn't tens of thousands because of the three of us went, me, Alex, and Ryan, and it was probably, I don't know, probably like $1,000 each. Worst way.
Yeah. Mate, I wouldn't even look back. Because it would just make you feel sick of today's prices.
Because you're here now.
Take the memories.
It's cheaper to go to Japan, Disney World, than it is to go to Florida now. So it
was for the kids. We were gonna come to the Worlds this year, but it's just like, is it worth that much? It's going to be a 10 grand trip, like between the four of us.
All stay with Dex, can we?
I know.
I've got field. I might do camping for the Aussie Worlds.
Camping in Australia, imagine that.
Well,
all the things in that tent.
In the winter.
It's not as bad as that, It's not as bad as people think. I'm just thinking.
Shut up, Dex. I'm going to stop you. Hang on. You sent me a video of a snake on your roof.
Yeah, but it was not a venomous one, which is
that's right.
Yeah,
but you're right. It's going to be double deer for people going to Australia in comparison to what it used to do. I mean,
it'll be about the same price as a national weekend in the UK, probably.
Yeah, depends if you have a gazebo.
Gazebo and a caravan.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to number 7, 2004 Vulcan's Worlds.
We've talked about this a few times.
That's my favourite event of all time, Scott.
What a Worlds.
It was good. It just seemed good in every way. I mean, we all love Holland. They love us, so that makes it easier. It's an easier place to get to. But that event was, amazing. I mean, we all stayed on the campsite across the way. The kids could ride to the track. It's a nice little town there. It was just great in every way. The racing was great, and the Warlock, Warwick Stevenson, won elite.
Yeah.
There was lots of about him.
Who was it went over the tyres in the last corner? Was it Bob, the wielder?
So again,
someone went over the bars, didn't they, on the tyres on the last corner? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Bob did a while, but also Bloomy did it in the semi. Yeah. If you remember,
Bloomy won the
pre-worlds, and then Bloomy was like on fire and did it in the semi as well because it was his all day. But what an event!
Was AD Walden? I seem to remember something about AD Walden.
Yeah, he was.
Do you remember it, Scott? Sean Calvert.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
AD led it. AD got. I think he was in second.
Yeah, he sent the double, didn't he?
Boosted the tall double. Went over to the side. Sean benefited from that and went around the outside and then passed the American guy on the line.
That's it.
It was just. It was incredible, wasn't it? I think that was going back to your point about like road trips, Scott. I think that was one of the last events that was like seemed to be where clubs got a couple of minibuses and all piled in vans and everything. It was really communal. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we always tended to end up as a club all together. I mean, I think that year, I think Miles Kirby was with us even, and loads of other people. And I remember carnage because, I mean, there was cabins there, and the Claytons were there, and it was madness, absolute madness.
For that one, we stayed on a Euro Park round the corner.
Yeah,
it was a Euro Park with the Goodmans, the Kirks, all them lot. We went as a massive convoy down there, and it was just quality.
Was that box as well. Was that another load?
Yeah, it's that kind of place. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was great. I mean, it was a great trip. I mean, it was a great event, and the weather was great. Everything about it was.
And did you go to the after party though, Scott? We've talked about it previously on this.
I know all the kids did. Well, kids to me.
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
we were kids. We were 16.
Yeah, I know it got proper out of hand. I heard, but yeah, it was good. I think
what an event.
Because that 80 Warden one, I think that opportunity missed was why when we did a road trip in 2010 and he won, and 80, as crackers as he is, was pretty straight-laced, and I don't think he was a big drinker or anything. And I think with the release of Winning in 2010, he just went off the rails completely, and he was
biggest understatement of the year.
He was in the beer tent on some kid's micro scooter with his roost body armor on, no top, his helmet up here, trying to drink beers. We took him into the town centre afterwards. He was doing endos off the cop car in the town centre, and the cops were kind of tolerating him to a certain extent. And it was just the biggest release for him ever. I think he put a lot of demons to bed. I got any euros? He came with no money. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, it's a mad one, that one.
I mean, Mark Seaman, Mark Seaman used to sponsor him, and he never had any money. He used to keep in the awning of the truck. And like,
since our cheddar one, there's two stories of 80 that one I remembered on it, and then I think you messaged me and loads of other people messaged me about, was the 80 crash at Cheddar that we didn't talk about, where he smashed his face and his peak went over his face and he couldn't see anything, and he was running around like this and giving it all this.
Yeah.
And someone had dubbed Star Wars or whatever the other one is, I can't remember, but they dubbed a Star Wars thing of him with lightsabers and things like that. But I also remember, on the topic of him sleeping with the Groove lot, he used to sleep under the Groove van at Cheddar on the bloody stones.
Oh, he's hardcore, literally.
Yeah. Anything to get to a race.
What?
Valkenswaard, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
What a year 04 was. No clips in Valkenswaard.
Number 6, otherwise this could be all night. The World's in Saskatoon, Canada. Now, this was a big road trip. So, and it made it even a bit more special because once again, we had the Maps, the Phillipses, the Claytons. We all flew to Calgary via Iceland or somewhere. That was mental. Remember the kids wheelchairs flying around the airport. And then we all hired massive campers. And we went to a little race that was outside Calgary. Billy Clayton nearly took the back end of the camper out against the fence, but we managed to. And it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We got run off land that was owned by Indians. We shouldn't have been there. On our way to Banff, and it was a bit of a road trip to get to Saskatoon because it was literally in the middle of nowhere. Like you see these films of straight roads, and it's just like that. That's what it was like. So, but. We had such a great time, and when we stayed on this campsite, and there was beautiful lakes, all the kids would go swimming, and Billy fancied himself as a bit of a diver. It was pretty good on things like that, and the kids loved it. So, and then Jordan Clayton again, the smallest but the biggest troublemaker you could ever have. Oh my God! They all of it. And there was a lot of big kids, in this party. So we took Sam Slowbot, and they all went off on bikes and go down, sheer like through forests in Canada. It was like, and they ended up with this swimming pool at the bottom of the village, and they all went in there, and you can imagine they were running right, mappy and all that. It was just, and then one of the parents went down there, saw what was going on, and this Canadian lifeguard, it was hilarious. He said, "I'm not sure what word it was, but that little kid, he kept calling me a wanker." Well, yeah, that's Jordan, all right. So, yeah, and then it was enough. Then we got to the campsite in Saskatoon, and some bright spark thought it'd be a good idea to build a go-kart track next to the campsite. Oh my God, it was proper carnage. Even the Americans were coming down to ride this go-kart track. I can remember my Elise.
Sounds like a great one.
Hitting in with Alex, and the helmet was over her head, banging up and down. I mean, they were killing each other on this go-kart track. Like, what,
BMX is health and safety isn't a thing, no matter what you go and do, is it? Like,
no, it was just, and it was amazing. Again, the weather was great. It was a bit in the middle of nowhere, but it the track was a bit, made in a week job, But the Americans cleaned up in the elite, I think, from memory. John Pearce, Harry Ellis, I think Romero as well, got 3. Yeah, Alex made the final. We slipped out the corner on that, but it was all good. I think it was the first one I can really remember everyone wearing a country shirt. I could be wrong, but I could have that wrong. But I
can't remember when that became a thing, because obviously my first Worlds was '96 at Brighton, and I was in a GB top then. But I can't remember if it was always you have to wear it, but I'm sure you did.
It might have been '96. Oh, might well have been, yeah, maybe. But yeah, it was great. There was a big crew of English out there, and they managed to get out there. Again, like we were saying earlier, I suppose it was cheaper to travel then,
Yeah. Because what year was that Canada one then?
That was 97. So that was a year after.
Right, okay. Yeah.
It was great. I mean, it was a good event. As I said, weren't great. But again, a lot of Americans there and, a few French and whatnot. It was good. It was a good event. We all got to, it was one of the first times we had, well, not the first time, but we also had a little bit of a holiday as well. So, people went whitewater rafting, and we then in the camp went right the way across back to Calgary through a different way. And it was great. Really beautiful place, stunning. One of those ones you really remember. I mean, a bit like, I've been to so many. I mean, I've been to Denmark, I've been to North, it's just, they're amazing places. Okay, I'll move on. Talked about Brighton. That was, 96. I mean, we got there in the end with that place. God.
Yeah.
It was huge. Massive event for the country, wasn't it? I mean, it was something.
Did you commentate that? When did you start commentating?
I didn't commentate there. No. I don't actually know. I mean, my commentating experience started in 1980 and 81. I'll get on the top of the van at Westway and just commentate on the races and play a bit of music. And then didn't touch it again because obviously I focused on the kids racing, and just getting. But I always remember, I think it might have been Chesterfield, and seeing Pete Kirk out in the middle do this whole national on his own. And I walked out there and I said, "Look, mate, do you want a hand?" So I don't know how I can help, So, but I'm more than happy to help you, even if you want to go for a toilet break. And he was doing this at every national. I know we didn't have like 1,000 riders. We had like 300 riders if we were lucky then.
That's a long day though, isn't it?
It was still a long day. Yeah. So that's how I started, and no idea what year that was. Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you did, because your voice is so distinctive. And we were saying, towards the end of your career, when you couldn't see fuck all anyway, you just, had so many fillers that I used to love. It was just, even because I spent a lot of time with you up in the commentary tower, and which is because when me and Ryan got really close, and we were not that close. And we just started, getting on, and I was always with you, and he always used to be pissing himself in the back, going, "Yeah, can't see anything," as they were coming down the first straight back to you, and you still haven't mentioned anything. And it's just but the other people can't understand that, and that you can't see the rider coming at you because it was still flawless, and there was so many little one-liners. I mean, Boota does impressions all day, every day with you.
I think obviously I had my own style. I mean, most of my stuff was on the moment, from the hip, and humour. Because I found humour in most things.
Mate, I've got so many laps that I can hear you, and I'm just pissing myself because I can hear you laying into me.
They're my best ones. I used to enjoy Scott when you used to whenever it was the women's cruiser or something. You'd be giving it the yummy mummy. So then you'd be telling a story about one of the women as they go round. The whole lap would pass. But they were my highlights. I'm the generation that Pete Kirk, Rich, you were commentating my races, and I've got the DVDs, and you're in the back end of them ones from 20 odd years ago, and they're as important as what's happening on the track, really, because it's the sound of the event and the feeling of it. And you made them races, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and I think, I guess without even knowing it, that was kind of my forte, I suppose. I could feel the crowd. You could. You could get the feel of what people were and what they respond to, and then you see things, and it just would make me laugh. And I mean, Ryan, he does great impersonations of me. being really bad at commentating, so it's quite fun. We laugh at. Yeah,
sorry, I cut your number 5 off, but I needed to
that's
say
all
that.
right. It's all right. I mean, where am I? Yeah. So yeah, that was a huge weekend. It was a huge weekend personally because Alex did unbelievably well. I think he got second and third, second on cruise with the third in, and it was a big. And seeing Dow win, that was quite a big thing at the time. Passing
Yeah, it was quality.
Stumphouse on that last corner. Because as we saw behind it, he was down there all week, 2 weeks, Dow practicing that move almost, like, and knew where he could take people. But it was, it was just a great event. It was boiling, absolute red hot. Must have been one of the warmest weekends in England for, I don't know. I can remember I was chefty keeping as well, so I was keeping Alex, looking after him. We had a tent and stuff like the GB riders, sort of. And I was having to keep cold towels on him and stuff just to keep him.
Yeah, I remember nicking bottles of water from other people that were just in pens, and I'm thinking, I'm so fucking hot here.
Yeah, it was.
Why was Brighton, like? Was it an existing facility, or I don't know the history behind it?
It was a massive, loads of land that they had, and they built it for they only had the Brits the year before, didn't they?
Yeah, they had
in '95, and then that was like a test event, didn't they?
I think it was a big push at the time by the association, which I think was GBMXF or whatever the hell they were called.
Yeah,
and they obviously were looking to host the Worlds and found a place, and they built a track. I mean, I think they built it and knocked it down and built it again, didn't they?
I was going to say, if you watch the World's footage, it's still it looks like it's just finished last week because there's no grass around it or anything like that.
That's what I was going to say.
And it was always, every time I went there, it was always like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it was like. And it was Sheepcote Valley. That was the name of the place. And it was notorious for, because if you remember, the horse race track was just up the hill.
Well, they had the gypsies as well next door, didn't they?
It was a home. When the horse racing was on, the gypsies would come there and stay there.
Yeah.
For that week or whatever it may be. So, yeah, it was a bit of land I think the council wanted to do something with. And if you remember rightly, the campsite was just down the road a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was it was ideal in some respects, but they just couldn't look after it. It got wrecked, got absolutely mullered. So I think they just drew a line under it,
Cobbled start hill as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was it was a great event. Loads of people from England. I can remember that great massive GB flag that was hanging off one of the stands. I think it might have been paramedics that bought it. And I've got that picture of Alex jumping the jumps going past that Union Jack. Such an iconic picture, The whole event was brilliant. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah. Number 4. I think near enough every race at Bournemouth in the 90s and early 2000s was just off the hook, pretty much. I mean, I could just put them all in a big pot and stir them up. It was just brilliant.
Scott, when we started this pod, right, we said, because we were going to do a bit of like reminiscing of the old school days, we said we need a Cheddar one, and then straight after we was like, we need a Bournemouth one as well.
Well, the best event there was the one that got cancelled. Remember?
That was quality.
I mean, we all went in the rugby club
after the football match as well. The flag.
Yeah, it was mad. I can't remember. I get a bit confused. I think we had a no clips race. If that was the one I think it wasn't, didn't it? When that finished, it started raining. It never stopped.
Hammered it down, and it hammered it down. So the Saturday, and then we decided to play because we got wind that it was going to be cancelled. So we decided to play a football match.
Oh, right.
And then everyone went into it was lads versus dads, wasn't it? And then everyone went into the rugby club because everyone knew it was cancelled and no one was going anywhere. So it was like there's one thing I need to do right now, and it's get absolutely hammered.
Yeah, but I mean,
and I'm sure they had a rugby do on as well at the same time, didn't they?
More than likely, we just sort of. I mean, I was going in there from the 80s, going up. Taking Alex there racing, and going down there. It was like the annual trip, wasn't it, down to Bournemouth?
Yeah.
It was just so good, so good. I mean, so many nights. I mean, what's his one of the outstanding one was what's the lad from Newcastle, Hall?
Yes,
Jack Hall doing the pull-ups on the rafters.
Yeah.
That was the last one, wasn't it? That was kind of even in my time. So like 2011, 2012.
Yeah, Probably
Is that the one that Taylor got absolutely hammered as well?
So,
Yes, Chris Taylor.
Harley Taylor's Chris Taylor. That's
Yeah.
it. Chris Taylor got it.
So that was the night before. So he was in the rugby club, and I got in trouble in the rugby club because I called it Bournemouth Rugby Club, and they were really angry. They said, "No, it's East Dorset Rugby Club. It's East Dorset." Anyway, Chris Taylor was in there, absolutely smashed, and Zoe came in, and she was just out, and he was like, "Oh, yum yum yum," and he's out, and as he shuffles him outside, and Ash Davey had one of those laser pens. I don't know why, but he did. And he was doing all these like star patterns on the floor, and Chris is going, "Oh, what's going on? There's aliens everywhere." And Zoe's going, get back to the caravan. And Ash Davies shining this light everywhere.
Yeah, I think because I got told to go back to the caravan a couple of times. I think.
I remember walking back from that rugby club because you had to walk over the rugby field to get to the campsite, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I fell over Merv Thompson, who was out cold and face down on the floor.
His normal position.
Yeah, generally.
Jack Hall's mum came and took him home. Jack Hall's mum came and took him home when he was doing the naked pull-ups.
Put his pants on first.
Yeah.
Oh, Bournemouth.
I just remember
So many good.
Yeah, that was quite funny. But I mean, could again when we started going down there, Blushholes was just Sunday. So Saturday, me and Clayton, Stovey, boss straight to the bar at lunchtime, and that was it. Saturday lunchtime, and it was just great memories, great racing, great people, always pretty much good weather. So it was great. I mean, I remember getting drunk one night. I might have been with Ewan actually. We both got pretty drunk, and I was still pissed the next morning to do the commentary. I struggle out there, and I can remember it being like one of the best commentaries I'd done because I was just ripping it out of everyone, for quite a while.
Oh man,
it
was a time.
It was mad, but the big standout, and this relates to Bournemouth also. There was an international race. I think we'd waited about 15 to get an international because Europe wouldn't look at us. And
I remember this.
Rob Injury taking out Tom Alio. That was the whole crowd when he did it just went, yes, like that. And if he didn't have legendary status, he did after that. I mean, it was.
Oh man,
it was hilarious.
That was perfect.
Yeah, it was hilarious because like Tom Allier was like the main man, wasn't he? He was like crazy.
It was only the French and the Dutch really that came over for that one, weren't it? No one else really bothered with it.
They struggled coming over that water, didn't they? The canal, the channel. They would never. It was back then, but so that was great. I mean, it was just brilliant. I mean, okay, Norway Worlds 1991. Probably a lot of you were still quite young, Sean. And,
as the year I started, So
again, a great opportunity, and I was fortunate in the extent that Alex was that quality of a rider that he used to make it, to the Worlds and stuff, and. We had a great time. Flew out there. The guy that was organising the event, I think he had a kid that raced. I can't remember his name now. And he picked us up in this American sort of minibus type thing. Took us to the track. And at the track, on the there was a big bike factory next to it. And the organisers had organised loads of caravans. And you pre-booked them. So we just all stayed in these caravans. We used the facilities in the bike factory, which had showers and God knows what. And because it was a summer, it never got dark hardly. I can remember this amazing PA system, and it was playing like REM and, music all night long, and all the kids are riding around the track still doing practice. And it was stunning there, absolutely stunning. I mean, not only was the race great, but the place was great. We went on a fjord cruise and eating McDonald's for 50 quid or something, stupid price at the time.
Oh, man.
But it was such a great place. And it's all these places, especially the Scandinavian ones like Denmark, Norway, places like that. Really lovely places. So
some good culture there, isn't there?
Yeah, Norway was a real standout. And again, the highlight was Dylan Clayton winning there, going past the American on that second straight. He was flying. He was flying. I mean, and then the other one, I'll just touch on it slightly, as we're talking about Dylan, was at Schindel Wells in Holland, which was absolutely dire. It was so horrible. And it wasn't until the sun came out, I think, on a Saturday afternoon, Sunday, that the track started to improve, things dried out. But watching him do the double there was probably the greatest thing I'd ever seen on a BMX track. He was just, no one could get near him, He just looked
The
at me.
guy was a genius on a bike, wasn't he? I mean, you can't when you think about stylish riders that are fast as well.
Yeah.
Him and Allier are probably two people that come to mind.
Yeah.
Which is a mad bracket for him to be in.
Because he'd have been riding sort of like 18 plus, which is like junior men. In the equivalent of. But he had that yellow cruiser. I mean, and all his kit was absolutely spanking, and he just rode so well. The whole crowd, I remember, all the Brits all on the grandstands, all bouncing up and down, shouting. We're all shouting, easy, easy. And he was just like, it was incredible. It was incredible. I mean, great. That was a standout. I mean, apart from everything else, it was pretty horrible there, but that was mental. But let me just scroll down.
No, put some effort into this.
It's amazing. I'm just happy to just hear it.
It's only when you start typing things up, and then I was checking years and stuff, because I'm rubbish with years. It's like when I do pop quizzes or 10 to the top. When they ask you the year question, forget it. No chance. So it took a while, but massive standout, and we're probably one of the first internationals we went to. It's almost like a double. We went, and it was, I can't remember the year, was it? 83, I think. We went to Dijon in France for the indoor for the Euros. That was like one round, because the second round was at Birmingham, Wales. So it was like a double for the Euros.
Right.
So, yeah, and again, that was an amazing road trip. I mean, I had a Volkswagen camper. I took a load of kids from Notting Hill, Errol being one. And he told me when we got, just before we got the dock, he never had a passport. So we had to hide him. Under the bleeding, in the camper, there was a lot of bed, and we just hid him under there. So
that's brilliant.
We were it's packed. I mean, we had, I can't remember who was there. Tricia was there. My nephew was there. He was racing. It was great. And so and arriving at that place, the pony park, for the first time, it was like, what the heck? This was just like paradise, for kids and everyone. And the place was rammed with BMXers everywhere you went. There was, and I can remember seeing like the Hutch team in all their kit with the stars on, and like, oh, this is like, this is going to be good, this is special, and it was just, it was crazy. I mean, we all camped in the field next to Slag Iron, and it was just crazy. All these kids in this this pony park for the first time, and
Dijon came back on the map, didn't it, recently?
Yeah,
it came a couple of years back.
Yeah, this was just a track built inside a bit like a modern day Tours, really, and it was just built inside a track. It wasn't nothing special, but back then it was quite impressive, I suppose.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Again, it was roasting. I mean, Alex was only a baby. We were pushing him around on a tricycle, and he just had his pants on. He was sweating. The sweat. It was so hot in there. It was hotter inside than it was outside.
So your boys weren't even racing then when you went there?
He was still getting dragged along. Yeah, he was. Yeah. But he that was I mean, Slag Iron was amazing. So and that was it. I mean, Frankie Romain went with us, and they had this like novice and expert thing, and he got second behind Phil Hugerden. Do you remember that name?
Yeah,
Dutch guy. Yeah. Got second behind him, and that was meant to be crazy. I mean, the whole thing was Lewis Mears. He won his novice age group, and it was just all the Americans. I mean, every top American of the day was there. Stu Thompson, you name it, Greg Hill, they were all there. I mean, it was just a big thing. And I think Gerrit Doos and the Dutch Federation had made a big point of getting those guys over. And I think the first World Championships outside of the USA, I think they'd had Detroit, I think the year before or something like that. And that was the first. So it was a big deal at the time. I just remember the place being absolutely rammed. I mean, it was.
So Scott, how did you get into BMX?
Well, I was working with kids on adventure playgrounds in Notting Hill. Must have been from about 78, 79, and then eventually these kids started bringing in like grifters and stuff like that, and they were sort of emulating, like they loved motocross, but they obviously weren't old enough to have motocross bikes or.
Yeah.
So I remember the whole straightening of the forks. So first of all, let's bring him in, and we should help them straighten the forks, because they were like that originally, weren't they? They used to go like that.
Yeah.
Then it seemed that it just evolved so quickly over a period of a year. The next minute, I can remember one kid who was the son of a guy who owned the local shop down the road. He turned up with a Push Murray BMX bike, and we're like, oh, what? Bloody hell, that's all right. And then it all kind of snowballed, you know. I mean, they built, you know, the track at Westway with our involvement and our input and stuff like that. Yeah, that's how I got involved. So
So racing starts in 1980, and you're there from the start. Then, bang on.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you've been there the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
Quality.
And we had our nephew, like on Margaret's side of the family, little Stevie. He was like 5 or 6, and we took him. He was in like Sam Jarvis's age group back then, if you remember him. And he you know, he used to race nationals and stuff like that. So we didn't go to loads because back then they used to have bloody 30, 40 nationals or something, you know, crazy all over the countries. We just used to do sort of local ones and stuff. But I was taking the girl from the playground, Trisha Madden, who I'm still friends with, and she did all right. And I was taking some of the kids from the playground as well. You know, like Frankie, and then Errol was a Westway boy, but he used to come with us, and a few of the other kids used to come. Winnie, of course, then was really young. He used to come, and Billy. I mean, it wasn't until I got speaking to Billy recently, he was reminding me of a lot of stuff that went on, you know, back then. But you couldn't stop at a shop on the motorway. They'd just rifle it. They'd come back. They'd just absolutely, they were like flies. No, that was it. I couldn't stop anymore after that. It's come back. It's all right, Scott. We got you something, you know. Not really meant to be wholesale shoplifting. But anyway, they didn't know any different.
I love that.
It was proper like racing on wooden wheels and woolly jumpers and stuff. Yeah, it was proper. Earls Court was one of the big first ones that I remember going.
Yeah.
That was pretty big. But that's where it all started from. And then eventually I had Alex, and he was just dragged along for the ride. I think he went to a race at Romford, and he was only like a few weeks old, you know, stuff like that. So he was on a bike, on a little tricycle, following everyone around, you know, from way back when. But yeah, it's been you can truly say it has been a journey, for sure. But and seeing the development of BMX over those years, you know, it's been interesting to watch, you know, and be involved in as well, because I was involved. I was on the British Cycling Commission.
Have you finished your top 12? Sorry, because I've got loads of questions.
We haven't even got to number 1 yet.
Top of the hit parade. And again, you may have seen coverage of it in magazines, but again, it was a pretty big deal at the time. It was the first Anglo-American race at Redditch.
Oh, yeah.
And again, it was billed as like a USA versus UK style race. And they brought a few top guys like Andy Patterson, Harry Leary. There was a couple of other random Americans that came. There was, I think, even Shelby James came, and he was tiny. And he raced against, if you remember Shelby James, yeah? There was multiple.
Oh, I can't remember this name. No.
Yeah, you look him up, Shelby James. He was multiple world champion back in the day, an American rider. And I think he went on to play another sport. He was unbeatable. I think he won at Slough Worlds. He was in Joe Eastwood's A group, so he kept beating Joe Eastwood all the time. Joe would never win. He'd always get second or third behind Shelby James. But he rode for Profile and someone else. But he came. And again, I took a gang of kids from the playground from Notting Hill up there, and took my nephew. It was one of those real moments that for me, you know, it lit the fuse for my passion. Wow, this BMX is all right. This is pretty tasty. I fancy a bit of that. And then to go slag on for the Worlds, you know, that was just like, and then that was it. I was hooked, you know, from that time on, you know. So that completes my top 10, 11.
Amazing. It's a hell of a list.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a little bit of stuff I've left out as well, but that's maybe
for good reason.
For another, yeah.
Well, there's so much to
we don't
choose
get
from.
shut down.
Yeah, but your 12 is a really interesting perspective on you being involved from the very, very beginning of the sport. You know, there's some really interesting selections in there that reflect being involved at the very beginning. You know, and one of the interesting, notable pieces that isn't in there is the 2012 Olympics in London. So that doesn't make the top 12. And I'm not saying that's a wrong thing, but that's an interesting thing.
I was thinking about that I would have included that because that was quite an emotional event for me, having been that long involved in the sport, for it to reach its pinnacle, and actually going both days. I went both days because I was on the list of, we got first dibs on tickets.
Yeah.
And that was, it was up there without a doubt. It was incredible. I mean, walking in to the Olympic Park as soon as you got off the train, it was like being at Disney World. There was like all these people waving flags and all the volunteers telling it go this way and that way. Everyone, again, the weather was amazing. Everyone was having a great time, and loads of people, and then walking into that arena. Oh my God. It was off the hook.
I've never seen a better looking track than that.
No.
It was stain.
It was big. I mean, it was immense. And I was obviously had a good seat. I had Beckham this side of me, and I had like the guys from the Latvian embassy the other side. Of course, they were lovely.
Yeah.
They won, you know what I mean? So it's like, it was incredible. I mean, obviously, from a GB perspective, we probably didn't do that great.
What could have been? It was one of them, wasn't it? Because we could have
been. Yeah. And
we could have had 2 medals there. But
yeah. I mean, talking to Sinead's afterwards, and I don't think it was directly afterwards, because she'd been built up so big before that event, almost too much. There was too much pressure put on her. And
she was almost the face of it, wasn't she?
It was like, oh yeah, all the billboards all over London, all over the country. But, and she said to me that, Scott, she said the start hill was moving in the wind. We probably didn't realise it, but up there, they were that much higher above all the people. She said I could feel it moving, and she said it frightened the life out of me. She said, I was like, and obviously the whole hype and the tension and the pressure that was behind her, that just got magnified by that then happened. That when she got on the gate, she just went to pieces, and
have a chat with Boo. He was on the trap team.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Do you know what?
on
this, the emotion behind it all was mental, because I don't think I felt a better feeling of like just a good time feeling in London. It was like a fest, like you said from the train station, Scott. It's like the festival feeling. But we stayed in Gravesend. We stayed around the corner in Gravesend, and I was there for like 8 or 9 days.
Yeah.
I can't remember a time when the whole city felt alive.
Yeah.
The event, the track, the noise that the very first gate went down. Yeah. I have never ever felt anything like it, like the goosebumps.
Didn't they do the count? They did the countdown on the thing, which amped it up even more. The amazing PA system. Christian Stevenson doing the warm-ups and stuff like in between. But that countdown was, that was pretty cool. But they got it absolutely bang right. As you say, the whole place was buzzing.
Yeah, incredible.
And I can remember, I met up with my lot, and I don't know whether they came there or. I think what it was, we had tickets for both days, but the boys only had tickets and the girls only had for Saturday. And they went to watch it in Hyde Park because they were showing on the big screen, weren't they? So we all met up, I think, after the Saturday. And we just had, we got on Boris bikes and just rode all the way from Stratford, all the way to Marble Arch. So straight through, stopped for a beer, rode all the way through, again, balmy, beautiful summer evening. And we just rode all the way back to there and left the bikes there. And obviously we got trains and whatnot back. But it was just amazing. Great place to be in London at that time, and as from a BMX perspective, it was the pinnacle. It was just fantastic.
Yeah. Talking of pinnacles, then, is there one race that you've commentated? You've gone, that's one of my favourite races too. I know I've just put you on the spot there because we didn't ask you that one before, but
I think the Worlds at Birmingham was probably up there.
Did you commentate Quillen's win?
I think,
or was that Warlock?
I did, but I think we were doing like half a track each.
Yeah. I do recall that actually.
Me or one, I think I can't remember. I know, and I think I've seen a video, heard a video, and can hear me shouting and screaming, because it's pretty exciting him winning. I mean, it was, but that was probably one of the highlights, I would say, for me personally. I mean, the nationals kind of, there's been so many that they kind of roll into one and come out of another. I mean, going to Scotland for the first time was good. That was good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always good.
Did like the company. Yeah, because they used to put a show on, didn't they? And Ryan used to go dressed as a Scots.
Yeah, that's
with his kilt on and ginger hair and all that.
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. I wore a kilt one year. I was quite popular. Yeah, that was good. That was a good event. I mean, matches has always been a bit of a mixed feeling to me from a commentary point of view. I never really
the indoor.
Yeah, the indoor was never really.
Yeah,
it was like a Marmite on it from our perspective. You know, we made it work, and Ryan loved it because he was up in that skybox all the time.
It was brilliant, yeah, because I used to go up there and sit in there as well, rather than me having to walk up, just get the lift all the way up to the top.
Yeah, it was it was good, but yeah, it was all right. We had some good races there, to be fair. I mean, that was, I mean, again, I can remember the first time walking into that place and thinking, you couldn't believe what you were seeing. This England, how have we managed to pull this off? And
that was a mad
yeah, it was
one,
mad.
the first time we rolled in there.
Yeah, it was mad. But like anything, and it's good that it's used, but it's you either like it or you don't, do you? I mean, it's that kind of place. I mean, it serves its purpose as a practice track for sure. And all those riders up north, they're on a Brucey bonus every time because they live so close over the winter.
Laughing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something to be said for not having to wash your bike when you get home.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't have to.
Well, yeah. You don't have to wash your bike ever. It's what keeps yours together.
Scott, you didn't put any cheddar events in your lineup.
No,
can you pinpoint a memory there? Because I know we had some good times.
Yeah, well, I thought as you'd done cheddar,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, again, it was a gift, wasn't it? It was a gift to BMX. That
unreal.
I mean, Pete pulled that off. I mean, he must have told some proper porkies to get that going, but he had some great good for him, good for him. I mean, and it was great. I mean, because I don't know if you know, but the story was obviously the owners of the Moors had, as you know, the Cheddar Challenge. And I think they just got pissed off with the mountain bikers absolutely wrecking the place because that's what they And I think what the straw on the camel's back is they nicked some of David Moore's memorabilia out of the bar or whatever. And he said, that's it. That's it. So I think that's where Pete came on the scene. And yeah, the rest is history.
So I'm glad they nicked that because otherwise we'd have never had cheddar.
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah. I said I'm glad they nicked that because we'd have never had cheddar then.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean,
it was unfortunate, but great news for us, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. I mean, sure we did. I'm sure the BMX has done a fair bit of damage, but it was,
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we could go there off peak, couldn't we? And so it all worked out. But it was great because it was like an end of season thing, wasn't it? It was brilliant from every aspect. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I do remember some good events there. The Euros there was pretty entertaining. Me and the Waller.
Yeah, it was.
Did a bit of commentating. I think Chris might have done a bit.
Yeah.
I think it was that event that I think Alex was. There was a French guy in the pens keep having a go at Alex, and he was obviously flat pedaling it, and he was high-low in that berm. Do you remember all the moves he used to make in the first berm? He used to really, really annoy Kelvin, and he did it a couple of times. I think in this moto with this French guy, and the French guy didn't like it at all. He started really verbaling him and whatnot. So Alex, being Alex, he just saved it for the right moment and T-boned him over the last corner. Alex.
We'd probably need to talk about your kids a bit here. I know we're over an hour now, but
yeah,
obviously Alex did a bit. Like he's made numerous World Champs finals, and then the thing I remember from Alex is him going off to Camp Woodward and riding the Supercross, the first initial Supercross that was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was the first British guy to do it.
It was pretty sick. I mean, can I put it out there? Was he the only British person that did it? Did any other Brits go and do that?
Well, you had the Brits that were
Woodward.
Like Neil Woodward.
Yeah,
Neil.
Can't remember if Jamie Staff did it. I can't remember if he did it or not.
I think he did actually.
I think he did,
when they brought the bibs in. Remember the bibs?
Right. Yeah, when Miranda won. Yeah. So I don't think Alex
in his green bib.
Alex didn't go to the first one at Woodward. I think he went to the second one. And
how did that come about?
I think again, between Dirt Mag and Mike at Dirt Mag and Gunner, and they said, well, let's all go, let's all go, let's all go, make it a bit of a road trip, go out there. I think Edgeworth went. I think they hit up Woodward East first. Bestwick let them go in there and use the place and stuff like that. It was like kids in the sweet shop, weren't they? I mean, it was just bad.
Sick.
And then they all got arrested again out there. Because it was all in Pennsylvania, or the what's that cult that lives out there?
Oh, the Amish.
Yeah. So they were all round there, and like they got one of them. I took a mate with them, Alex's mate, and he got breathalyzed, and that was it.
All these stories that you're telling me about Alex now makes sense that why they've gone off grid at Christmas. So they don't get arrested, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the only reason they've gone off grid.
Yeah, they're civilised old men now and campers.
Yeah.
They're
not, because I know Ryan.
But they went out there. Yeah, they went out there, and because Alex had done a couple of trips to Cali anyway. He slept on like Neil's wood sofa and Robbie and Miranda's sofa, and he came back a better rider every time he went. But then it was the next move was to go to Woodward, because that for him was he said it was the scariest track he'd ever ridden. The size of the jumps, but it suited him to the ground. He loved it. I mean, but it was a great experience, and I think Kai Forty must have been out there and someone else, and they couldn't believe the BMX track. They just said, like, crazy. So I think there was a freestyle event as well. Something else was going on, part of the X Games or whatever it was. But yeah, it was pretty mad. It was pretty mad, Woodward West. I mean, yeah, it was a great experience for him. Yeah.
I think I remember there was one picture of Alex, and you can see you can see his back.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's in some black jeans, and it's like a check top. He wasn't in a race kit, and he's 30 foot up.
Yeah,
because it's on that big step down. I can remember it now. I'm sure it's in a dirt mag that I've got.
And
I was just like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And this is obviously I didn't know Alex at that point. And then I was like, and then this guy was backflipping at Harworth. Yeah. I was like, there's this racer that's backflipping and doing Woodward, and I just thought he's just the coolest guy ever, because that dirt shot for me, I'm pretty sure it was up in my room. Poster on the wall.
Yeah, Jerry from BMX Mania took that, and I remember chasing Jerry up over to seeing it, and he sent it to me, and it is a mad picture, because he looks, like he could easily be 15, 20 feet in the air over this jump, because they were massive. You were going so fast, but in the distance was the scenery of that area, which was like, oh my God, it was just incredible. Yeah, it was a lucky boy to be able to take part in them, and I mean, how he did was, okay, nothing special, but I think just taking part in it was the thing,
exactly that.
Very
it's
cool.
one of them, isn't it? Like, a sick event to be a part of.
Yeah,
it was so short-lived as well that it was like a Red Bull Revolution, but even cooler because it's Cali and it's in Woodward.
It was the forerunner of the Super UCI, what we call now the UCI Supercross races. That's what it was. Because
it was mad. It was a bit extreme, wasn't it? Like,
and they kind of, because there was a guy who was in charge at the time at UCI. I can't remember. It'll come to me in a minute. He was
Joe Van,
sort of trying it out, as a template for the Olympics, and then but then they realised, no, this is mad. You can't have this. It's got to be something a bit more tamed down on a proper BMX track. That's where the big style came in as well, to give it more, and like you mentioned, the Red Bull race was like mental, best thing ever. And so I think they got an amalgamation of everything and put it together, and it kind of worked really. But me and Alex went with Lawrence Mack to a supercross race in Fréjus, south of France.
You went to that one, didn't you?
Yeah, it timed in with a big bike show that goes on there, like 20,000 mountain bikers doing a cross-country race or whatever. Massive bike show, but they built a track in a car park, for want of a better word. And we went to that, and that was pretty cool. I mean, it was a pretty cool event. The weather, and we also went to St. Martin. The owner let us in the track, and they were able to ride the track and stuff like that. It was brilliant. Yeah, going to south of France and that in like end of September, and it was still warm and nice, that was another interesting event. But yeah, that was the forerunner for Supercross.
Mate, you've done a bit, ain't you? I tell you what, you've done so much. I mean, we haven't even talked about your third favourite child, Ryan, yet. But like, yeah, what the journeys you've had with Alex and that is just.
Yeah, I mean, to have Ryan by my side for all those years, you know, doing the music and, you know, and making me see sense a lot of the time. And like, you can't say that, Dad. You can't do this, Dad. You can't, you know, all that kind of thing. But he gets that from his mother. So, but it felt almost like, you know, I imagine what it must be like being in a band. And like, I'm the bass player and he's the drummer, you know, and you get this rhythm going. We both knew each other what we were doing, you know, between the music that he played, and that would then set my scene for commentating and stuff like that. And I think, you know, Ryan doesn't really get enough props really for what he did musically and how he changed. You know, for the UK, he made a difference.
You go to a national now. Casey, who's doing it now, who's one of my mates from Leicester. He took a lot of Ryan's playlist, and you think, you know what, a lot of the Euro bangers is still going strong. I mean, there was a lot of times that I was like, oh, I appreciate that mix. That's a sick, how he's merged that in or he's dropped.
Yeah.
I mean, Drunk and Drugs was mixed a lot with Intoxicated, and that was just like my favourite era of. In fact, you know what? A lot of people probably don't know this, but I had Ryan as my DJ at the wedding, to the point where I was like, actually, I don't want you my DJ. I want you to pre-mix it all because I need you in the mix as well with me on the dance floor. And he just, he mixed it all as a kind of a wedding gift. But it was basically just like you was at a BMX race and it went off.
Yeah. I mean, he was a bit like, I suppose you got it from me, is that he naturally feels the crowd as well. He can sense.
Yeah.
And he knows when to play certain things and how to build it up. And obviously, it was a natural progression of building stuff up from, you know, laid back motos, quarters, semis picking it up a bit, and then the final, wham, you know, it's like, so, and it helped us as commentators as well, you know, it would make us raise our game. And, you know, and when I look back at the speed that we used to commentate at when it come to final time, because it is, and it's only when you stop, you realise it was like bomb, 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 every single race, you know, like the speed that you had to work at. And it was great because your adrenaline was rushing. That's why it was great, you know.
I think we've got a lot, like the modern day BMX has got a lot to thank the Dick family from in terms of what they produced on the track, but also going on in the background, because we could be still having PT dial-up speakers smashing out static.
CD changer, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's very, very nice of you.
We're certainly the soundtrack to my
Scott.
nationals.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right. Any last thoughts before we wrap it up?
We'll do the uncut version, the unfiltered version at some point soon.
Yeah, we should do a Patreon.
Yeah,
come behind the paywall for the locals version and the real stories.
I'll have to write up all my cheddar experiences.
Yeah. No, I've loved that. I actually had to make some notes because I was like, oh, I'll have to, you know, Google Slag on Worlds and try to figure that out. And
I mean,
bits of BMX history I don't know together. But I
sent a message about cheddar, and I mean, I loved it that much. I mean, and because I was part of the commentary team, I said, Pete used to let me go down like a Wednesday, and I'd go on my own and just camp up and just take it, enjoy it, you know, and then obviously be ready. And then Margaret and the kids would come down, and it was just amazing. The best of times.
Scott, are you in the BMX Hall of Fame yet? UK BMX Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I was the
first one in.
Second year, I think. Second year.
Good. Just checking, because if they're in, I'd be messaging Dale right now saying that needs sorting.
Yeah, no, I did my bit. It's on the BMX Hall of Fame website, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, because you did it on when there was an event, didn't you? They actually scheduled an event. Yeah,
it was the first one we had at Coventry. Yeah, they were good events. I mean, and you know, major hats off, props to Dale and you know the guys that put all that together, because it weren't cheap. It wasn't cheap to put that on, and I think that's what kind of you know put a stop to it. You couldn't warrant kind of spending that kind of money, but Darren O'Neill.
Why don't they merge it with like a British Champs or something?
Well, we've had those conversations because we've got groups and stuff, and we email each other and WhatsApp. Yeah, we were looking. You know, I said even if we just had it in a pub, you know what I mean? Because having it at a race, most of the people wouldn't know nowadays what the hell it's all about.
Yeah, but a part of me feels like they need to get to know. Do you know what I mean? Like, they need to know the history. I mean, people can talk about England football from 1966, but they know it. They know who Jeff Hurst is and all that. They should know who your likes of your Dale Holmes and Gillian Claytons and Scott Dix are.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not a big one for history anyway, but I take your point. But you know, getting back to it happening again, the BMX Hall of Fame, it should happen. There's no question, but it's got to be right. It can't cost tens of thousands of pounds.
No, agreed.
And it, you know, if we are in a marquee at the Brits or wherever, then so be it. You know, with a decent PA and, you know, slideshows and whatever they do. But because it's not thrown together, it was pretty well put together.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, and it needs to happen again, and I'm sure it will. It's just timing. You know.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it'll be good. All right. We've made it. It will be bedtime for you lot. My day's going to start. That's a year of Late to the Gate, 14 episodes. I think we started probably March, something like that. We'll be here again in the new year. I don't know if you've got any thanks, Sean, Boota, but I think, you know, everyone that's fully committed, that's given us all the ideas, that's got involved in the comments, wouldn't be anything without them, as far as I'm concerned.
There's too many to mention. The amount of all I'll say is thanks to everyone that's been inboxing me, messaging me, saying they listen to it, giving us ideas. I mean, Taylor Andrews is always in there, and Keechi's always in the mix. Reedy's flying in with voice notes left, right, and centre. Yeah. The Hillies are big fans. We could go all day. Was a Bancroft also now listens thanks to your little story last time. He ain't happy.
Good old Was it?
Because you've outed him.
I miss Was it?
Him crapping himself. But yeah, we'll keep it going, guys, and I hope you enjoy it. And watch out for the album, I suppose.
Off now.
Thank you so much, Scott. Thanks for everyone.
Hey, well, before we go. So I did a Christmas poem, but then I found out that, and I think Sean said, "Oh, Coffee Chatter have done one." So I listened to it and I went, "Oh no, it's very similar to my Christmas poem that I ChatGPT wrote." But I'm gonna go through it anyway because I went to a lot of effort. So let's round it out. Everybody gather round, children.
I've not heard this yet.
It's Christmas Eve and it's time to settle down. 'Twas the night before gate drop. 'Twas the night before Christmas. And all round the track, not a rider was peddling, not Reedy, not Jack. The start hill was quiet, the floodlights all low, and the whole place was waiting for winter to show. Dex fussed with the mixer, the knobs all misread. Boota squinted at notes he had never prepared. Issitt sat calmly, resigned to their fate, a shoddy year-end to Late to the Gate. Then out of the speakers, through crackle and muck, came the warm gravel tones of old Uncle Buck. A legend of race days when crowds used to roar, who'd call half a lap from a mile, maybe more. The year's final moments drifted soft overhead, a reminder of riders long gone from the spread. At Christmas take pause for the words that were said, and hold close the racers, respect all who had bled. Then out on the track there arose such a clatter, Dex sprang from the booth to see what was the matter. Dex spilled his beer as he lurched for the door. Boota tripped on a cable he should have taped down before. The moon on the jumps cast a silver-white glow, like a brand-new creation from Clark and Kent Co. Then down from the start hill came riders instead. Taylor Andrews out front with ideas in his head. Behind him came Mad Ady shouting, "Move, move, move," trying lines that no physics would ever approve. And lurking in the shadows, half myth, half dread, was Krautrock's shitposting live from a thread. And there stood Coach Bloomy, arms crossed and concise, handing out technique tips nobody asked twice. Keep your form, keep your cadence, elbows up, not spread. And if you crash now, riders, blame Issitt instead. Then a thump from above made the commentary shake, like someone had overjumped something they'd break. They looked up quickly, expecting the worst. A roof case? What carnage? A Christmas Day curse. But there on the shingles, with tyres still warm, stood Santa Nick grinning, festive, on form. His jersey was retro, his gear slightly skewed, his number plate crooked, his landing, well screwed. He swung off his sleigh with a laugh from his head, looked straight at the hosts, and then calmly he said, "Celebrate the living and remember the dead. Tony the butcher and Jeff in his shed." He handed out spares from a sack full of gear, old pedals, loose bearings, a chainring from yesteryear. He winked at Mad 80, fist bumped Taylor twice, told Krautrocks, be kinder, that wasn't advice. Then laying a finger aside of his lid, he hopped on the roof like a wayward big kid. He pushed off the edge, found a tranny ahead, and vanished down track like a rumour once said. But they heard him call out as he pedalled from sight, Merry Christmas, you racers, and to all, a good night. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Peace.
That's quality. Oh, that's quality.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, rate that.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, late to the gate and racing out of lane 8. Your men, Dex, Boota and Issitt.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Oh yeah! It's cold. It's chaos. It's Christmas time. So grab your mince pies, clip in, and let's ride! Uncle Buck's here with his memory sack, and someone tell Boota to put the pipe back. Issitt took third, no training, still slick. Mad Addy's back, and his cadence is quick. Boota's cruising, back onto wheels. His DIY's cursed, but he's got that feel. Dex got a job, now meetings are tight, so we part in the dark or late at night. Still don't train, still full of chat. TRT sauce in the sock, in fact. Sugar daddy's spinning under the mistletoe. Krautrocks posting, we still don't know. Chase truck tourists at Christmas mate. The Grinch was carbon confirmed debate. Tracks are frozen, but the banter's hot. Still dreaming of podiums we never got. Tinsel on the bar, snow on the gate. We're clipped in crooked and 5 minutes late. Santa brought socks, but we wanted grips. Still pulling hamstrings and talking Our bikes are old, our knees are shot, but we'd race through Christmas, ready or not. Beers in the van, mince pies in a box. Race kit tied like Christmas socks. Oh, slow and full of mints, but we still gate better than we rinse. Beers in the van, mince pies in a box. Race kit tied like Christmas socks. Oh, slow and full of mints, but we still gate better than we rinse.